Happy Aloha Friday, Reality Ohana. Hey, as always, this is your weekly update, and really the purpose of these every week is just to me to jump on and just to connect with you, and just to know that we're thinking about you and praying about you, and just to have this space, but also to remind you of anything or encourage you, or if there's any news or updates upcoming. But in light of all that's going on, right, the uptick in cases and the safety restrictions getting put on, I want to just exhort us today as a church and as a community that we really need to rally and specifically check in on one another, to care for one another, to see how each other are doing. And if we're honest, right, many times it's difficult to share our pain and our problems and our issues with others. It's hard to ask. It's hard to receive, right? I know you guys, you are so good at giving and offering help, but also it's really difficult to receive help. And it's really difficult to sometimes be honest and vulnerable where we're at. But church, if there's ever a time for us to grow in this so that we can grow into just an authentic, genuine community, that we don't have to have it all together. That's not the gospel. That's not the Lord's heart for us. The Lord's heart for us is that we would be a people that are just open and vulnerable and honest before the Lord and one another, so that He can meet us and He can use each other to come alongside and to meet us. And that is exactly the type of thing I believe God is doing this season. You know, from the very beginning, 5 months ago, God has had us in the book of Acts, but he had us in Acts chapter 2. And what we saw was that the church was so much more than just a Sunday thing. And that's our desire too, that we would be so much more than a sermon on Sundays. But what we saw there was that the church is actually a group of people gathered around Jesus, and they care for one another. They do a lot more, but the primary thing that the church does is they care for one another when each other are in need. And we saw radical demonstrations of this in Acts chapter 2, where people were selling their possessions, and those with much were giving to those that didn't have. And the outcome, the goal and the outcome, was that no one was in need. There was no need among them, it literally says. And church, I desire that for us, for our church community, that we would be open and real and honest and vulnerable. But that takes some work, right? That takes us reaching out to others that they're thinking about, we're praying about. And that also takes us to receive and to kind of a two-way street there. But all under the guide of the Lord desiring to meet us and care for us and be with us. And just because we are socially distant right now does not mean we need to be spiritually isolated or be alone. We want to let you know that we are your church family, and not only do we care about you physically and how you're doing, we care about you emotionally and mentally and spiritually and financially. And so if you have a need, please reach out to someone in the church Ohana or your Ohana group. Or just reach out to us, realityhonolulu.com. Email us at aloha@realityhnl.com. We just want to hear from you. We don't want just you to get lost through the cracks, especially as we are becoming maybe more socially distant and under these safety restrictions, as we stay safe and try to control all of this that's going on. So, church, I love you, and I miss you. And once again, I'll see you 10 a.m. Sunday morning. You'll see my face. I wish I could be with you, but we love you, and please reach out if you need anything. Aloha.